Hey guys, it's me, Babaloots, and today let's talk Meso making. So every account is going to burn through tons and tons of Mesos. Like you go in your V matrix, you want to unlock a new slot early, 129 mil. That's cheap actually for that. It gets up to 800 to 1 billion later on. Arcane symbols, you have lots of growth to do on them. I haven't even done it. 236 mil right there, 53 mil there. You have your hyper stats. Look at this, hyper stats. What's the level on that? 130 mil. You're gonna need Mesos and you're gonna need boatloads of them. I didn't even touch on, the Forge as well. You have the Forge making restoration scrolls when you're Star Force and Uniques. You have Exalt Stones if you need to fill in 1 through 5 with a 40% or your Radiant Exalt Stones or your Chaos Exalt Stones for the more established players. You're crafting ancient weapon crystals, armor crystals. Those are 85 mil, no, 15 mil, 85 mil for the attempt. It's insane the amount of Mesos that you need in this game. So I'm going to go over, I have a beginner, moderate, and advanced techniques for making money, and we're going to break that down in this video. So for beginner techniques, what I got for you is actually going to be taken right out of my Discord. Shout out to Canadaddy for writing this out. I appreciate that. You're going to want to fuse. So you're going to take your excess powders. Do not use your epic powders for this, I would say, as this would cut into your profits. But you would essentially want to take your epics that you get from the elite dungeon and level them up. So it's just because I have this in my inventory. Level them up. And then fuse. And then when you get a unique, you also have a chance to roll an emblem when you fuse these together. So if you roll one of those, like, you're in the money. And let's see if I get one. No, never lucky. But now that you have a unique equip, all you would do actually is level it up to level 20. So it took 88 powders, 2.64 mil to do that. And I should be able to list for probably 5+ mil at this rate. So you could start higher, start like 9.5 mil and list it. And there you go. Canadaddy actually did the math here. Doing it this way, you could be making about 36,000 Mesos per powder you use. And actually, you can actually increase your money made if you were to use cheap unique armors from the trade station. So if you were able to find a nice cheap unique equipment, that would actually boost your profit margins substantially. But right now, nothing cheap. But yeah, anything under like 1 mil seems to be what would be cheap. But yeah, wow, actually there's like nothing right now. So that means the economy is doing good, I would say, actually, if there's nothing cheap. If people aren't giving stuff away, economy's doing pretty well. Now, I'm personally a fan of actually to keep taking these a bit further. So what I would do instead is I would fuse up another unique, fuse them into legendaries, and then I would have 2 legendaries and fuse them to mythic, and then sell the finished mythic. You want to make sure you're doing in-demand items when you do this, and a finished mythic costs about 180 mil, but you can easily list those for 220 mil or 250 mil, and if you get lucky, get a Jahin, or if you're doing armor and you get the gauntlets, the bloody gauntlets, those go for 300 mil, and you can make quite a bit. It does take longer, though. You need about overall 800 weapon powders, legendary, and you'll need about 600 to 700 legendary powders for armors. But I prefer to go all the way to mythic, because if you land a mythic emblem and it's crit damage or boss attack, those go for 3 to 5 bill, because those are necro projects for people. If you land a junk emblem, I think you should still be able to get about 1 bill for it. So a little luck involved. I actually have never rolled mythic emblem. Still hoping one day. But that's kind of a beginner level of Meso making right there. Now, something I need to touch on actually is alts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alts that I use daily for the Elite Dungeon and Chaos Daily Dungeon. Getting an army of alts set up will just increase your Meso making overall. Each alt is good for about 100 powders a day. Well, I guess no, about 80 powders a day from the Elite Dungeon. Because at level 200, these are about 20 each per roll. And you'll have 4 rolls, right? Getting it all to 175 is ideal. Because that's when you start getting legendary powders. That's when your alts would be online, in my opinion. But even I don't do it on my Ho Young or my Hayato here. I don't do the Elite Dungeon. 6 is plenty for me. And now to go and segue into the advanced, getting your alts to being able to do Chaos Daily Dungeon actually opens up a more advanced technique of money making, and that is making, if you go into the trade station, fodders for, like ancient fodders, there we go. Let's clear that. So an ancient fodder, a little unfortunate, but I would say now go between 1 to 1.5 bill. But if it's a high demand item that you do, or if you can organize with a buyer before you start attempting, you could be able to get up to 2 bill per ancient equip. And each alt you do is probably good for about 40 to 60 stones a week. And you just want to keep them stones coming in, doing it daily. And if you get a whetstone, that's awesome. That just increased your overall production by quite a bit, actually. And of course, make sure to be doing your Pharaoh's Treasure as well. This shop is amazing, and it's equivalent to about having 2.5 Chaos Daily Dungeon alts. Just being able to buy these. Now on to the advanced or very late game techniques. So, if you're wondering, I'm trying to get the monster card for this skeleton. It haunts me in my dreams. It is the last one I need for 2% crit rate, which would be really nice to have. Now for the advanced techniques though, let's go on to my main. And this, I actually haven't tried. This is all theoretical, but I have high hopes for it. And I can report back and let you guys know if I've gotten decimated. But I actually picked this up in the trade station. And I was going to use it just for exalting my equipped hat here. But I was looking at it and I was holding off and I didn't know why. But it's because... Where is it? I paid 1.5 bill for that. But it was already level 30. And it had 18 Star Force. So that got me thinking. This kind of fell right into my lap. I was like, I gotta try this. I have high hopes for it. I made Exalt Stones 40%. I failed 3, succeeded on 2. But we're gonna get this to level 40 from exalting at the Ancient rank. And now to make those Exaltation Stones is in the Forge here. I love using the Forge, by the way. Very, very good tool. And I actually just had a bunch of Chaos Pink Bean belts left over because I don't need them for anything. I didn't know what to do with them. So I Star Forced them all to 17 and 16 because 2 17s and 1 16 will get you a 40% stone. It costs 150 mil. And boom, now you can exalt your Ancient equip. 40% is not bad. I mean, it's 50-50 anyway. Either it lands or it doesn't. And hopefully I don't get burned and burn through the rest of these failure counts. But once it's level 40, I will be chaosing it. And this is why this is more of an advanced a more advanced technique. Is because not everyone has Chaos Stones incoming. I have a nice backlog. I like to hoard resources. That's just what I do. So once it's chaosed, or at least once I can attempt chaos when it's level 40, I will show you what those are going for in the trade station. Let's clear that. Clear that. Chaos. I should be able to maybe get, apparently, 13.8 bill. I was going to list mine at 11 bill, but I might start even higher because I'm not familiar with the market. But this is a huge amount of money. And the reason people are buying these is the whales and the more established players can actually use those, wrong section, to make Chaos Exaltation Stones. And a 17 star force, because once I rank it up, it'll lose 1 star, gives them 28%. But I'll have to list it as a price for the 25%, because they are still going to use the second one. That extra 3% doesn't matter. And really, I'll list it for 11 bill. Lowest I'd go is probably 9.5 bill, because then at that point, if it doesn't sell, I always have this in my back pocket, but I can just star force it up to 23. And then if you had seen, I will pull it up again though, in the Exaltation Stone, a 23 star force gives them the full stone, and you can actually list those for anywhere between 16 to 20 bill. And that's just a nice chunk of change. That's good to have, and that's how I'm going to try it. And you know what? I will update this video. I'll leave a comment. I'll let you guys know how it goes when I'm done. And now, finally, let's talk about spending money to get money in the game, because that's always there. I don't spend a lot of money on this game. I try to keep my spending to a minimum and do most of my stuff free to play. But there are some packages you can purchase that'll get you the most bang for your buck. In my opinion, these are my staples, so I'll go over that. I went to the wrong shop. You can tell I'm doing this live. I just did the same thing. Let's see. Now, I am a fan, personally, of, I think it'll be under special packages. Yeah. I like the daily crystal package. I either go with this big boy here. That gives you the 30 crystals times 260 a day. I'm a daily player, so I collect them every day. And then you also get the flat sum of 1750. If you're patient, this is a really good price per crystal. And then another one that I always gravitate towards as well are these new character boost packages. These ones, but go through them, because see, this one is 30.99 USD, 5,600 crystals, but same price for 900 more crystals. I mean, you have to get a character from 160 to 180, but if there's an event in Burning going on, you should be pushing that character to level 200 anyway, or at least getting it to 175, 180 to make it into Elite Dungeon Alt, getting you those legendary powders. Those are the two packages I go for. They're actually, in the scheme of this shop, those are actually cheap packages or inexpensive packages as well. For reference, you can go into this premium section, and we're talking 219 USD. Now, let's see. Once you do have that, I'm a fan of waiting for the golden apple. I'm a gambler man. Those ones you can hit. If you hit any of the big ticket items, they go for a couple billion. If not, max Mesos that you can have on you, not in Richie. Some people like to go with the style, but I do not do anything in the fashion in this game. I don't see the value of these packages. I stay away from them. Some things that you could roll, I do this as well, is when the rare treasure box has the increased drop rate for mythics and secondary weapons, I will buy an attempt or two on it, a couple 10+1 uses. And that's because I'm still hopeful one day maybe I'll get lucky and pull a mythic secondary, which would be a massive, massive, massive upgrade for the main. I have done one roll on this special gift shop. I don't recommend it too much unless you're spending a lot of crystals, because then you are guaranteed to get these high S tier items, as you can see, because it just slowly but surely takes out, and eventually you're pretty much guaranteed to get them, but you do have to roll it 10 times. I have heard there is some success with the royal outfit as well, but I stay away from any of the fashion events. That's not my style. Your most consistent money though would be the pets. When there's the pet rolls, everything you pull from that goes for 50 million Mesos or so. So even though you only do 10 attempts, I think it is 10 pulls on the pet. Every item is worth 50 mil. And if you get Wonder Black Pet, those are 300 mil right there. And the drop rates are actually pretty nice on that. I would say I've pulled 3 Wonder Black Pets in one pull before. So that was just 1 billion for 2,000 crystals or whatever the cost is. So that's how I would go about if I were to spend money. Alright guys, that's all I got for you today. Drop a comment below letting me know how you make your Mesos, and we can compare and see who makes more Mesos overall, or it might be something I just add to my arsenal to increase my Mesos made so I can keep progressing in MapleStory. And if you've made it this far, think about leaving a sub. That'll really help me out, and I'll catch you guys later.